G'day team, this is Balth with Dog Shadow Gaming, the channel where we live to game and game to live. And today we're looking at our second episode of our trainee or beginner's guide to Mordheim City of the Damned. Now this is a really great game that I enjoy a lot. I hope that you really enjoyed the first one. We got some really good watches on it. I think we're about 35 or 40 views, which is pretty good for my small little channel being open sort of 6 to 8 weeks. And I just felt that I thought, well, let's continue it. People seem to be liking it, and I'd like to show you more about the game, and I'll try to be a little bit more in depth with my explanations and what I'm going through on this turn round. Now what you will notice is that some of the guys might be a little bit extra upgraded. I thought I was recording, I'd press record, and for some reason it just didn't record. So I actually did the second mission. We did our first mission together, started the warband, I did the second mission, tried to record it, missed it, so now I'm doing the third mission. So if you notice that some of our warbands are a little bit upgraded with some slightly heavier armors and bits and pieces like that, that's why we're at it. Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Okay. Excuse me, I'm getting a bit thirsty here, trying to do all this talking. Essentially, we will probably be looking at the Smugglers Den, the warband management. We'll go through, so a little bit about the HUD and bits and pieces like that. And then, get into a match. This one is probably going to be, I'm not going to lie, it's probably going to be about an hour and 20, guys. I do apologize for it being so long. It's unfortunately just, I'm trying to do a guide here. I'm trying to get it all in and explain it properly for you. So I don't want people to walk away going, oh yeah, great, it's just another play for your mission. He didn't really explain anything, because it does have a hard learning curve. So, yeah. Let's start getting into it. So you start off with the war camp, and we'll go to the corner here. You've got the different. Sorry, 1 second. That's right. Sorry, I messed up some of the volume at the start, so I'm trying to go back over and do it. It goes in past the mission where the volume starts. So. This is the Smuggler's Den, and this is the Grand Theogonist. So this is your main guy. This is the guy that you're going to send your shipments of Wardstone to. So you always have to send them to him. Now, we already did the second mission where he gave us it, and he asked for 75 Wardstone. So you can see there, it shows you how many fragments up in the top right hand of the corner, and then here it shows you how much fragments you've got and how much you can send to him. We already sent all of it to him. We had about 120 fragments. Once you send it, it takes about a couple of days. So shipment in is taking 2 days for the next shipment. Once that shipment arrives, we'll get money straight away. So we get about 240 gold for about 120 of that. So it's showing a gold in the corner there. So again, I'm sorry if the mouse is off a little bit. I'm over recording as we speak. So the Grand Theogonist is our main one, and that's the one you want to be sending to first. However, you then have Sigmar's Haven and Brigand's Berg. Now these are two that you can also send, and if you look on the right, it actually shows you the loyalty you get for unlocking. So the more you send, the more you unlock, and then as you go down, you can see that it keeps increasing, right to the end here where you get a rank 6 Executioner. Now, Brigand's-Berg, I should say. You go down and it'll give you at level 5 once you've unlocked it all the way. Now they'll be paying you for the Wordstone while you're sending it as well. You get a young blood totally for free. So you're getting a warrior for nothing, so it's not costing it, which is really cool. And he'll probably be at a very high level, to be honest with you, by the time you get down to there. Now Sigmar's Haven, you come down here, and for level 5, as you just said, the more you give, you start to unlock, and then you get a warrior priest. And you also get a Sister Superior, and that's really powerful because the Sister Superior is a pretty high level hero character for the Sisters of Sigmar, so you don't normally have access to them. The only way you're going to get them is through this. That's pretty good to have a Sister of Sigmar on your team. It's pretty good. She's a good caster and a heavy. And then obviously the Grand Theogonist. So you always want to be trying to do whatever he's asked you for and send that, and then whatever's excess, send to the other two. You'll notice that you get so Executioner down the bottom there for us, for the Sigmarite. And that's a high level sort of hero. Hard to explain. I'll explain it in another mission, but it's high level. You'll notice that once you've given him all this stuff, on the top left, I know my mouse is going crazy, I don't know what I was saying here. You get minus 10%. Every time you send something to him, you're getting minus 10% for the like reputation, but the others are plus 5. Okay, now this is pretty self-explanatory. It's just a shop. We kind of looked at this in the first instance. You can now sell the stuff, so you'll notice I've got some stuff in here that I can sell. As I go through, there's things that I will keep, there's things that I'll sell. So the warp-lock pistols here, I can't use them. Warp-lock pistols are specifically for Skaven, so you can't put them on your character, so I'm just going to sell them. It's 29 gold to me, which is pretty good. And then we've also got a... Yep, so we're going to sell them. Here we go. And then we've got a staff here as well. So this, again, the staff... can't use it. It's only for casters. Both of my casters are melee casters, which means they have buffs to once they're engaged in melee. Now, you don't want casters engaged in melee unless they absolutely have to be. So you'll see that they're using, you go, well, why wouldn't you just put a caster, all casters melee? Well, specific, like this staff, you'll notice down the bottom there gives you a resistance to basically like a negative effect for casting, because there's always a negative effect for casting until you get much higher levels, and there still is. So we can sell that off because it's not worth it. Sigmarite hammer we're going to keep. We're going to keep pretty much everything else because we can use everything else here. We'll probably get rid of the staff as well because, again, we're not going to use it. Both our casters are melee casters. They're not staff wielders. The rest is pretty good. Yeah, get rid of Bugman's. Bugman's not amazing. Well, I don't use it, you know. I do use some of the potions, but not a lot of them, to be fair with you. It's really good. I try to keep my gear there so that if I get into trouble, I've got a heap of stuff I can sell and get myself out of trouble if I've spent too much money by accident. Now, you'll notice that I've upgraded the Sigmarite to a more tanky class to try and give me another frontline heavy tank. And then we've got our 3 backline shooters. Now, this is the skirmish page. Right, the skirmish page is basically online, so you can build it. You can take whatever you've built, and you can play somebody else online, whatever they've built. I haven't got much into it. I'll do another video on that one. These are the veteran skills. We lightly touched on these in the first episode. I didn't want to make the episode too long, so I didn't go into it too much. But if I remember what I did here, I think I went through and explained it briefly. Right, so keeping it fairly quick, you've got healing, reduces the cost of healing. Every time you come back from a battle, if one of your warriors drops, he's going to need to be healed, and that costs money. So you'll see that at the end of this episode, I had to pay for healing. So that's a good one to get. Scholar's also another good one because skills become really important later on. Again, we'll talk about that all later, but it's a very big cost. Then you've got Merchant, and Explorer becomes very important when you're looking at the map, and I'll show you again that in a little bit. Then you've just got Haggler, and I've got that because you're going to be selling stuff. Now here we are on the map, and then you've just got next day. So those are all the top icons up the top there. So I was just going through those one by one. Right, what am I doing here? Okay, so I'm going through these. So you can see that we've got 3 different missions here, right? You've got the first one, which I was too quick to go, but I'll go back to it. There we go. Normal, marked for death, which means there's certain tokens you've got to pick up for marked characters, like we did in the first episode. This one has average and average, so that's pretty damn good. And both warbands are centered around their wagons, so that's pretty damn good. Like that's ideal. I mean, the only way it could get better if it was Weirdstone Rush, because Weirdstone Rush tends to be easy to get the secondary objective. It's much harder to get marked for death because you don't know who's going to come at you and who you're going to be able to pick up. So I usually ignore marked for death. I don't pay any attention to it. I only tend to get Weirdstone Rush. That's going to be the one that we're probably going to do. This one here is poor and average. It's still Weirdstone Rush, both scattered randomly around the map, both of the warbands. That's not a good one because it means you're going to end up with a lot of one-on-one fights and bits and pieces, and that's not going to be to your advantage. This one is brutal. That's normal. So you can see the little skull. This is brutal. Now brutal is brutal. And you can see it has good and good when it comes to, and both warbands are scattered randomly around the map. So it ups the difficulty level. The computer ups its smartness, so it'll definitely try to outwit you. It's more of a game of chess. It is brutal. It's RNG gods, and they may roll against you, and they probably will in brutal. The RNGs are... Well, it's RNGs, as you know. Anybody knows what an RNG game is like in any way, you'll know what I mean. So we're going to go for this one because this is the best one. Now from here, as soon as we get in, I've actually realised that I hadn't got my sound on, so I do apologise again. I'm doing this after the fact. So we're going to get to about here, and I'm going to realise I haven't got sound on, and I'm going to turn on the sound. So yeah, fantastic guys, and I'll be back in a second. Okay, so here we are, and this is really important. So the very first part you go into, guys, is you're organising yourself around how you're going to start the map. Now, on this particular one, we're tightly clustered around the wagon, so that's not too bad. You still got to think how you start the battle is going to be really important. I said that in the first one, I'll say it again. So we know that both of us are clustered, both of our teams. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here and look at who it is. Demented Host. Straight away from the name and the little mark over it, you can see it's a chaos symbol. So we're fighting against chaos. Now, what I know about chaos is that you know, what do we know about chaos? Right. So chaos usually are wearing medium. They don't tend to wear a lot of heavy armor, not early on, but they are going to be running with a lot of big two-handed weapons. So they're going to have fairly okay dodge, and they're gonna, when they do hit though, they're gonna hit and they're gonna crit. They're gonna hit you hard. So Chaos are one of those factions you really want to keep at distance. If you can keep Chaos at distance and just plow them. So the Witch Hunters are amazing at fighting Chaos because they are a distance warband for the most part, and they're also agility based, so they get to dodge. So if somebody's coming at you with a lot of big double-handed weapons, two-handed weapons have a higher increase for you to dodge them. It's quite high. You get a big bonus to your dodge. So that's really good for us. This is a good matchup. Right, so we know that they're going to be clustered around here. Now, the second thing we need to look at is if you have a look up the top there, we've got the blue symbols mean they're our guys. The question marks mean it's theirs guys. That could indicate to you that they're running fairly heavy armor for the most part, because they're 63 and 54 and we're running in the 60s. Cool. Now we need to look at the wordstone. Now you're not going to be able to get over the whole map to get all the wordstone. Mark for Death means Halvers, Undivided Token, Wolfrangs, and Burdines, Undivided Tokens. So if we can get those three, we will win. So what I'm going to be looking at here is how do I keep my band pretty close together, number one. How do I choose the place for the battle? So again, I've got to look at it and go, I want clear lines of sight. I want them coming at me from range so I can shoot them. I want them to attack my tanks and get bundled up in my tanks, and my range can keep shooting them all day. So I don't want them to be able to surround me. I don't want to get in a situation where they can get around me. Now, in a couple of moves, they're going to get to about here. As in a couple of moves, I'm going to get to about here, in 2 moves. Right, so I'm probably going to get about 2, maybe 3 moves before we start getting their front runners initiating battle. So I can either choose to have the battle here, I can choose to have the battle here, I can choose to have the battle probably somewhere around here. It's depending on where I move, like how many moves is going to take me to get here and here, and that'll depend on how quick each one of you guys is, how much initiative they have. But I want to choose the best battle location, and I might sacrifice wordstone or even pickups to make sure that I get the most advantageous battle site. Because remember, the aim of the game is to pick up the wordstone, yes, but it's also to survive. Because you can pick up all the wordstone and take such heavy losses that it just wasn't worth what you're getting back from it, yeah? So a couple of things. First, I'm looking at what kind of battle zone do I want. Now, if I can get an engagement where I get them all funneling down here, amazing, because I could actually put my gunners along this little ramp here. If I go down, this is a ramp that runs from one top to the other top. And basically, if I could get an engagement somewhere around here, see how there's a cart here? If they come around the back, I can block them off, engage, and then shoot them down. I could block them off here, I could block them off here, and from up here, I could have 3 gunners shooting down, and they'll have a range till about here. At the moment, we still got fairly close range. They're all sort of pistols and stuff. We haven't got the long range lock rifles and that, which are really cool for this particular faction especially. So that could be a really good, because we'll have the height advantage, we'll have range, we'll be able to get our guys off the ground and out of the way. However, they're coming through here, so more than likely they'll come through here, probably go up these stairs and then drop down into us in here and come through the back and take us out. So it's not necessarily the best area to go. Now if they're coming through here, if we have a look here, looks like there's a ramp there. This is a pretty open space, which would be okay for us because we could line our guys sort of along here, put our range classes here, which could be quite effective. Another place that we could go is we could get the battle in here. There's no way for them to get up here except for a ramp, and there's a small section across the side here. So we could have a battle here where I get my ranged here and sort of have the battle in here if we're lucky. They'd probably end up coming through here, and you'd end up having a battle more than likely somewhere around here. So that's an option. I don't like having a battle here. I don't want to be having that here because it's too tight, it's too narrow, and it's going to get to a one-on-one melee fight, which they're probably going to win because they're going to have more melee damage than range damage. Chaos don't usually run with a lot of range except for casting, and they might have the odd bow and arrow guy there every now and again. They don't run any kind of weapons unless they're running a Skaven cat player, but they don't. The PC, the actual NPC never runs it. That would only be another player character that you'd be fighting if you're playing that sort of one. So I don't mind, I really don't mind this one, and I don't mind this one. So I kind of either want to be having it here, although this does lead a higher chance of being ambushed through the building. You're less likely to come this way and more likely to come up here and through here. Hang on 1 second. That's interesting. There's a platform here, which means we could potentially get shooters here, here, and here, and that could cover a lot of it, depending on how they could get up the back here. Now, if I can get the engagement in here, I can actually move them down in here, possibly take these two, maybe grab that, and then come into here, and maybe, I doubt it, but grab some stuff here as well. They're going to move pretty much straight up 1, 2, 3. I'm going to go 1. Yeah, probably about 1, 2, depending on how I can get through this building. 2, and then we're going to get 3. So they're going to get to about here. We're going to get to about here. Ideally, not going to be amazing setup. If we go straight across here, we could probably get 1, 2. Maybe we'll get set up in here to get down on here. Doubtful though. I want to pick up these two first, and then probably this looks like the best range here we're going to get, and maybe we can get somebody out to get this as well. See, this wouldn't be too bad because this is pretty open. If we went 1, 2, 3, and they would then come up here, and they'd either come through here, which means we could start shooting straight away, or they'd come around the back here and come straight up here, which means we could start shooting. That actually would be pretty damn good. Does take us away from, what is it? It's a lot of moves to get out there though, so it's not likely to happen. I think it's going to end up having either here or in this area somewhere. It's going to be somewhere around here, more than likely around here, I'd say. All right, let's get into it and let's see what we can do. Cool. So this guy has fairly low movement, and he's fairly expendable, but we don't want him at the front because he has more movement than our main tank. So our main tank is our slowest, our two guys in heavy armor. They're going to always be at the front of any engagement because they can run the least amount of distance. This guy has light armor, so we're going to move him from here to our, not to our complete back line because, yeah, that's probably about right. Yep. This guy has our highest speed, so we'll probably put him at the back because we're gonna, this particular one, we want to keep them together. Again, light armor, again, light armor, so he's gonna go at the back. Right at the back. There we go. Yeah, light armor. Light armor. Light to no armor, I should say. Just cloth armor, so light. Now, heavy armor at the front. And heavy armor at the front. Okay, so that's kind of your setup. You've got your back line, which is your very light armored, range class, and then you've got your heavies at the front, and then you sort of your medium tier and chaff in the middle, and so yeah. And depending on what class you're playing, so if you play Chaos, for instance, their caster, their leader is a caster mage generally. You can sort of play him other ways, but he's ideally suited in that role. Okay, so as we look at the map here, we are here. We probably want to get this guy, because it's probably least useful, to pick up these 2 items, which are at the end of this building. So I'm going to have a quick scout around. That's probably a trap there on the corner. So I can get in here. Let's have a look. Where are these 2 items? They are here. Can I see it? Right, it's in that building, so that must be up there, I would say. So if I have a look around here, I did go this way. Is there another entrance? Let's have a look. Is there one over this side maybe? No. Okay, so if we go all this way, there's nothing out here. This takes us out to the middle of nowhere. So remember guys, to scout a little bit this, as long as you don't get hit by a trap, it doesn't count as moving. You can always go back. So this is where we started originally, from this point, so we can always go back. Try and use the max amount of usage you can get. We're probably going to move this guy forward, and we'll use one of our more agile shooting classes to jump up there and have a look, because they'll have more movement range. If I put him up there, it'll take most of his turns to get up there and most of his turns to get back, so it'll be useless. So they do have at least one pretty fast moving light armor at 63. Everything else will be lighter armored than them by the looks of it. It's okay. I'm gonna run this guy in here. Alright, so there's no jump point there. No, we can't get up there. Can we get up here? No, we can't get up here. Okay, so if we come out here, there's a nice big chunky... okay, so there's stairs there. Right, so that'll get us up there. So I'm gonna go into Overwatch here. Nice long range here for us. I'm gonna do pretty much the same. Yep, I'm gonna do the same with my other range character. I'm gonna pull him out through here. And we're gonna pull him back to this wall. So that, because we don't want to block other characters from being able to get through. So, again. Okay. Gonna get out to here, and we're gonna probably put this guy here. Again, I don't want to block this path. I need to be able to get people out there. So you got to be sort of cautious of that too. This guy's probably not going to get out there anyway, so he's just going to head straight up here, like so. Okay, we've got another one at 54, so that's probably another light armored class. You see the ones at 39 and 49 towards the ends of those are definitely heavy armor, because if you look at our heavy armor knight there, the little knight's helmet, that's our knight, our noble. He's at 38 at heavy armor, so they've got a couple of heavy armors. So you can start to, if you start to see, you can start to see what you're going to be coming up against, which is part of the fun. So yeah, we're going to move just here. Again, trying not to block ourselves. So what that's telling me is, wow, he's got a 34, so he's got extremely heavy armor at 34, another heavy armor at 39, I'd say probably a medium armor at 49 and 50, and then 53 is probably mid armor, so light armor, but not cloth. Okay. So a big part of the game is understanding the different factions. And then, as you can see, I can sort of tell a lot just from observing the map, observing, you know, those bits and pieces. the queue order, that sort of stuff. It's really important. Because you're making decisions every second that sort of affect what's going to happen. Every single decision, you know, like whether you go 2 meters forward or not could determine whether or not they get a charge on you or whatever. Like this wasn't even really good because say someone came out of that corner there through that gap. If I'd moved 2 meters off to the left, my circle of engagement for a Overwatch would have been a lot better. He'll probably be able to get me if he comes in. He'll be able to charge me. So not a great positioning for me. Okay, they're using their mid-tier now. Again, mid-tier. It's really funny when you play the Skaven, they don't, especially the early levels, they don't run with a lot of heavies. So they're really quick. You'll have like, they all go first. Like this is probably the second lightest armored faction, because they usually only have like a knight or something. Quite often, like all their hero units, except the knight and the priest, are all, what's the word? They're all, actually, do we want to go out here? So that's the question. Because we've got all of our range over the other side. Gabbing away, I'm not paying attention. We might want to come out here. And yeah, just come out here just in case. Give our ranged a little bit of protection out here. Again, if you're going to have 3 ranged light armors, you want at least the heaviest tank in front of them. So if something does engage them, it's going to be the lighter. Now, his ability here is base chance, so Immaculate Flesh. So this is for if you're picking up Wordstone. So realistically, I could put him over there, but the guys that are probably going to be picking up the Wordstone are these guys here. So I'm actually better off putting him over with these guys. And we're going to just in that turn. And my guys are on just the other side of this building. Other guys. So heavies have just worked. The round starts. This is a very heavy 29.
A new round has started.
Okay. So they've got a very light. That's probably the faction leader, the mage, I would say. It's really weird with the Chaos because sometimes they'll play a mage, and sometimes it'll play a two-hander, and it's just all over the place. Let's have a quick. I just want to squeeze in here and just see. Aha! That's where one of them is. Oh yeah, Crimson Shade. That's all right. So it's just left click to pick it up, right click to close it again. If we look on the map now, and I take that off, you'll see when I actually get out of there, you'll see that there's a little red dot next to this particular item pickup, which means it's been picked up. Oh, and we're gonna get the other one. So that's good. We didn't have to go upstairs. Okay, and we've just picked up 3 blue items. So that's pretty damn good. They're not all great. I would have preferred weapons or armor, to be fair, but what that does do for us is that we can now... Can I get back out? No, I can't. That's all right. So you're just going to... I can probably race him... I've only moved 1 turn, so I can probably race him back, dump the stuff in the car, and then come back. He'll be a little bit late to the party, but that's all right. He may help somewhere else. So again, I'm going to apologise for the length of this particular video. It is going to be a little bit longer. I am sorry about that. It's not a lot I can do about it. Unfortunately, this is a strategy game, so they just take a little bit longer. Alright, so now we don't need to go up in the building because we've got to see how there's little red signs. That means it's been picked up. Now, we haven't seen them yet, and we are looking down there, and they haven't come through here, so they're not within our view sight at the moment. What I'm thinking of doing is I might dash him over here and take that. I'll dash this guy forward and move up here, and I'll probably move these guys through the buildings. Now, they'll either engage me on this side or they'll engage me on this side. Either way, it should be only a move to get around. I could either move them all here, or I can move them all through here. Through here is probably the better choice, but I want to see if I can get over here and grab this Wordstone. But we're going to do a little scouting first, just to keep ourselves on look. So there's some really good Wordstone there. You can see it right in front. We're not seeing... There's some good wordstone over there. There's a big catch of it there. So what we're going to do is we're just going to come forward a little bit. Really paying close attention. There we go. See, there's already 2 over there. See 2 guys now on the map. There's 3 guys there. Okay, so, I mean, we have what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we've just seen 3. You can see that there's 3 already there. And those 3 are coming up there. So there's probably 3 coming through here and maybe some over there. Cool. So, if I have if I do this real quickly, I do really want to get the wordstone over there, so I'm gonna hit back to my original spot and just quickly try and get as close to it as I can. No. That's probably a trap there, so we're going to try and avoid that. Alright, I can get to it. Is there anybody here? No, there's an entrance over there, and there's an entrance there. Essentially, we should be okay then, hopefully. I am playing a little bit dangerous, but I do know that most of them will be there, so it's not too bad. When you see a big chunk like that, Warp effect was positive in that time, so that's good. We're going to go into Overwatch. On the next turn, we're going to pick up one and then run back to our team. With this guy. Now, they're going to come straight up that alleyway and they're going to be looking for a fight. We want to get our range guys off the ground, if we can, and into firing positions. So if there's 3 of them there, they're going to continue coming up here, especially if we pull forward and we have a line ready to meet them. They're going to come forward to us. Usually. Don't expect the computer to be stupid though, then it's not always as stupid as you may think it is. If we just go forward and do a little bit of a research, can we get up here? No, we can't get up here. We can grab this, but I don't want to do that because we've already moved quite a few spaces here. See our blue points getting used up there? That's our blue points. So we started here, right? We used 1. So how do we get him into position? I can always pick it up from there. I want to get this guy into a position where he can fire down. Now, there's a firing position from up there. Remember, this guy only has pistols, so his firing range isn't as amazing. It's really not that great. I can't get up that side. So if I got up to there, my firing range would probably finish around about probably here. I'd probably be able to shoot anything that was here, right? If I'm up here, I'll be able to shoot down, which will be good. If I'm up here, I'll be able to shoot down. So our guys are there. They're probably going to get to this corner. They're going to get to there, and we're going to end up meeting potentially somewhere here. So being up there will be of some use. Being up here is probably going to be of better use, I would say. So let's just have a little look around, making sure we're not getting any... don't want to hit any traps. Okay, so I can get up here. Whoop, there's something to pick up here. And I can get out on the balcony. So this isn't too bad. Right, so I'm probably going to do this. Bearing in mind though, as we go back down real quick, right, they can get in behind us. So that's my guys there. They could come through this door over here and round through the back. Other than that, there is also access in the front here. So they could come upstairs. We can get a jump down if that happens. So we're going to have to be careful and watching out for that. So I'd say that's probably our best bet. Let's have a quick look over here just before we do. This guy's already over here. So he's probably going to head up and around here and get Overwatch on that top. And so we're going to go from here. And we're going to pick up that thing, and then we're going to... Oop. And we got some woodstone. Effect was positive, that's good. We're doing well with those. Okay, let's hope no one gets in behind us. Yeah, squishy. We can drop down, but still. Okay, so we've got him in place. He's going to be pulling out of that second window, right? Now we can either run this guy pretty much the same way we did with the other one and get him on the second balcony, which could be a good idea. It might encourage too much for them to come up behind us, but could always position maybe potentially someone by the door. So if we go maybe around here. Cool. Yeah, don't be afraid to have a look around. Just be careful, because if you do hit one of those, if you're just scouting, you're not intending to go that way, and you end up hitting by accident one of the traps, that's it. That's your turn. So if I have a quick look in here, just have a look. Can they get through here? No, they can't. Okay, that's good. They can't get through there. Right. Well, that's a plus, unless they go upstairs. How's the upstairs looking? No. Oh, hang on. Can they? No. Yes, they can. See how it's got little arrows coming up? That means you can jump up here. So they could potentially get in behind by coming down and then coming around. And they could... Well, that was a trap right there. And there's another trap. So that's classed now as some of my points, which is a bit sucky. So what I could do, though, is probably sit this guy at the bottom of here just in case. Somebody wants to come in through that way and try and get up behind our guys. But I probably won't. I will just leave them. If somebody does get in behind them, well, they can always jump down and get out of the way. So we're gonna... I mean, that adequately... I thought I was going to be far enough away to miss that. How stupid. I'm sitting here warning you guys, and I do exactly the thing that I told everybody not to do. I'm going to move forward here. I don't want to block them being able to pick that up, so I'm going to go right to the right here. And this is my front line of you know, somewhat disposable tanks. Yeah, I'm going to move him here. This guy's going to sit here. Now, in order for our guys to get firing arcs, we're going to want that fight. So both of these guys are going to be standing on those balconies, right? So we're going to want that fight sort of where this front guy is. Yeah. Okay. When your thing suddenly shifts to summon, it means they've seen something. Or they've heard something. So more than likely they're going to get engaged. But just remember, just because you do all this planning, you intricately set up this ambush, which is really what it is. You're setting the battlefield for an ambush. Doesn't mean it's always going to go that way. In fact, it quite often doesn't. But the planning is very important, because more often than not, it will save your butt. And if you pull off a meticulously planned ambush like this, the feeling is very cool. Pardon me, as I'm doing this, I'm talking to you guys a lot, and my mouth gets really, really dry, so I'm just going to have a drink of water. If you're hearing me, swallow, it's that. Okay, so we got our heavy tank. Now, this is the guy we want most of the front engagement to hit, and we want our other guys to kind of... we also want him to pick up that stuff, because he's less likely to drop than everybody else. So, if we move him forward, can I get in there? You've come there in a sort of a roundabout way. I wonder if I can get there, get any closer if I just go straight on. No, that's as close as I'm going to get. So if I move to... Again, I don't want to block that. What do we got behind us? Pretty much the priest. And he's going to sort of... Yeah, so... That's going to block them. Oh, I'm going to move him here. He can get to the front. on the next run. Cool. Okay, so we're forcing them to kind of come at us here. Okay. Now we've got our priest. He's gonna be coming forward. How far can he get? Alright, so he's still back with us. So he's just gonna be sitting right here. Now someone's gonna pick this up, right, in the next turn. So it probably won't be him because he'll be up on there. Can I get? Won't be him. It probably will be him, more than likely. Because he's the least likely to drop. So I might just cast it on him. Okay, no negative effects. It seemed to have worked. Cool. And we're going to go into... Right, so when he picks it up, just gives him a slight resistance to the word stone that he picks up. There you go. One of them hit a trap. And how far is he going to get? No, he's buggering off to the left. Be interesting what
A
they
new
try to do.
round
They
has
might try to
started.
come around us. So he's gone that way, right? So that what they might be doing is trying to flank around and then come back through around this way. That could happen. Very much could happen. We'll see. Okay, so this guy here, we've got a couple of options. We can either get towards the fight or we can run back, drop this stuff and then keep going. I think we're going to do that. Because it'll cost us a couple of moves to be late to the fight, but say la vie. We might actually take him and send him over to the right and see if he can pick up some stuff for us. There we go. Okay, so this is one of their champions. Big boy. Alright, so we've got another secondary piece here we're going to pick up. And then we're out. That was a negative warp effect, that one, I think. So from here, what I am going to try to do is get up these stairs. I'm going to try and stay inside my arc as much as I can. Okay, and we're here. Right, so from here, I can't shoot just yet, but I'll tell you what I can do. Now, they can get up there, so that's a bit of an issue. But this gives me a firing arc right through here. So we'll see if anybody tries to get up there. They probably will. We'll see. Okay, from here, I can go right. I've got an aim shot. We're going to take it. Good, excellent. And reload. And that'll be that. So that, the sort of the little symbol you're seeing there is actually, is the jump down. So that's jump down, that's jump across to the other platform. We don't want to do either of those. We're going to want to try and get a shot on this guy. Can I get a shot? There'll be a shot here somewhere. I saw a shot. Yeah, hang on, we almost got it there. What was that? Close, where were you? There, no, 81% jump down. Okay, so we can't get a shot on them there. That means we can do this. Oh, here we go. There you go. Another shot. Again, like I said, Chaos are very, very much all about the close range damage. Cool. Yeah, this guy will pass all alone fear test, so surrounding him isn't necessarily going to give you what you want, but nevertheless, we're going to pick this up before the battle gets into too far. I was hoping to do it with one of the other characters, but we're not going to get that choice now. So what I want to remember is I want to get as many guys around this guy and drop him. So I can charge him, but I kind of want to get a couple of guys in here and drop him real quick, because this is one of their champions. So you drop him, their morale drops real quick. They look pretty cool, don't they? They're actually, I find with Chaos, I find them to be rubbish. Myself, I don't like them. They can't wear armor. They're very high toughness and very high strength, so they can hit like tanks. And when they get much higher, they're really hard to hit. But they're very hard to get higher. They've got to really babysit them. Yeah, so I'm not a huge fan. We're actually going to move the knight up here to take that. So I'm going to want to get around here, because I want to take all charges on these guys if I can. He's down. So I'm going to walk up here. I'm going to loot him. He's got some wordstones, some armbands we can sell. Cool. He's taken no damage whatsoever, so he's ready to sit in the front line. Now, we've got our guy up here, a guy up here, and a guy up here. So this is ideally our zone we want to be playing in. Also, that's the door, that's the entrance. So if anybody wants to attack or go through there, we're going to see it happening. So ideally, we want them to engage around about here. Sort of barricade. See how there's a barricade there? Now they can get around it, of course, but this will funnel them a little bit. And again, it narrows the engagement just a little bit. So we're going to pop this guy right here. He's probably going to take a hit because he hasn't got a dodge on, but that's okay. There's our second guy. He's going to be able to get into an actual... There you go. And now he's covering that door. And he's covering out there, so if they jump in, we're going to engage at the boundary. So I'm going to pull back a little bit. And that still covers the entrance to there and sort of at the front there, which also means we should cover somebody trying to jump up there. That's actually probably more important. Yeah. This now covers both entrances to, or mostly covers both entrances to our... now this guy actually took some damage, so we're going to want to... He gets a charge, so he can go here, which will put the fight there, which puts it probably out of range of our gunner. So if somebody runs into that, he's going to run out of that, and it's going to put it out of the range of our gunner, so we don't want that. We're going to want to move him back here. Actually, we're going to move him out here. And we're going to cover this entrance just in case. Yep, so that covers that entire entrance. And to get up to our shooters, you have to actually get at us here. That's pretty good. Covers that one. Okay. Overwatch. Excellent. Taking damage before he's even walked in. Oh, and now he's set himself an Overwatch, and this is actually their... That's their leader right there. In heavy armor with a knife. Really odd build. Here we go. Sneaky little bugger. We're gonna get the Overwatch. Very good. This is a shield and spear, so he's gonna return. It's always a double return, yeah. So we traded well there. We stopped him from getting, we stopped the engagement from going. We can now possibly should be able to get another person in there to 2-to-1 engage there. Should be interesting. Somebody else is moving. Okay. So it'll be interesting whether he comes around the front or tries to go around the back. Okay, we got an engagement. Heavy armor. Medium armor. Or light armor. Okay, now he's actually spoiled his leader's engagement there. So he was on Overwatch. The leader was on Overwatch there on the right. So we're going to move up here. We're going to take this. Yep. Beautiful. What we're going to want to do here is we've got the parry chance, right? So what we want to do is engage this leader. because the dagger there is going to get through the dodge. Unlucky. High crit for the dagger. Yeah, he's going to... Oh. That was painful. So we just lost one straight off the bat. As I said, RNG can be dangerous. So I need to stop them from heading up to my gunners. So I need to stop him from engaging on my hero because he's stunned and prone at the moment. There's not a lot I can do about that. Don't want this guy running havoc upstairs into my guys, which is probably where he'll head if I don't engage him. And he's got, although he's running a dual two-handed weapon, so somebody going that's dodging has a much higher chance of dodging that. So I think what I'm going to want to do is end this as quickly as I can. Damn it. Overwatch. Good. Missed. Can I... Ah, you're shitting me. Can't do anything now. Okay. That was... Damn it. Caught on the Overwatch. Well played.
A new round has started.
It can go wrong really, really, really quickly. So we're going to need to dump this stuff and get up there because this guy is now going to be needed. Cool. One of our guys is already down. I mean, that happens. That's part of the game. And it's not one of our major characters, but one of our major characters is getting a hiding right now. That's the problem with the stun. Alright, we're going to reload here. And we've got an aim chance. Now, he's already pretty far down. And we get an 83% shot, so we're going to... No, missed. That's bugger. 83% chance, and we still missed. Remember, if they're not actually actively engaged in combat, you've got a higher chance to hit. It's good, we got at least one hit. Not much else we can do here. Okay, we've now got our guy here. What can he do? Has he got any shots? No, see, it's all, the action's all too far away from him now. So what we're gonna have to do is probably have to re-look at our positioning. Here we go. 93% chance on this guy, 80% chance on this guy. This will drop him, pretty much. We're very close to, so he's pretty much out of it now. One little tap, and he's out. We've got to dodge with perception. Success. This will should bring up anybody who might be lurking around or any traps or anything. So it's now showing us where everything is. There's a drop bag there. Yep. So cool, end the turn. Okay. 63, 83. So I can drop him with an 83% chance. It's not, hopefully we'll hit this. Right, so that's one down. 1 for 1 so far. We're gonna reload. And the next round we should get a couple of shots in as well. We're gonna stay right where we are and we're gonna put the dodge chance on. Just in case he does get up here and hopes to go and has a go at us. We'll get a 45% dodge. Plus, if he comes up here with a dual weapon, he gets a disadvantage to hit. Okay, now this is where we've now got 2 to 1 on our soldier, which is okay normally. What we could do is engage him, which stops him from going up to our shooters. Although I'm kind of wanting to get around there and help out my leader a little bit. I don't think I'm going to get around though, because the other guy's on Overwatch as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to charge. Oh, well done. We've got a 35% dodge. Look at that sword. Mean. Yeah, we're gonna... Excellent, that was good. We only get the one hit though. 35% dodge. Now, I don't get extra dodge on this guy because we're using a one-handed. A spear, I think, has extra chance to hit too. Now, we picked all the stuff up from here. So, what are we gonna want to do here? We can't get around and touch them, so what we can do here is possibly get another... Alright, he's now got 2 to 1, right? These guys are immune. A lot of Chaos is immune to fear, so they'll never run. They fight to the death. They don't have any problems with fear or anything like that. That's their bonus. They don't worry about all alone tests or fear tests or any of that sort of stuff. He's going to get 2 shots on me, and they're both going to hit. Ouch. So he's just dropped my noble, my knight. The tank just went down like a bag of rubbish. That's not good. The Overwatch there, that's good. Really hoping when we come out of this, my tank doesn't have any debilitating, and if he does, it's going to be good for the episode because you're going to see what. Yep. A debilitating. He could die out, like straight up, just die. He could be perfectly fine, like we saw in the first one, or he could have some sort of like permanent disfigurement, which will permanently take down one of his characteristics. Could lose a leg. Could be he lost an arm. Okay. Okay, I think I got it wrong. I think that the one over there with the mage was actually the leader, unless it was a mage. Okay, got a miss. Very low to chance, and I'm already in combat, so it's a lot lower to chance again. This is usually chaos setup. Usually just has 1. Oh, that's the mage. They have the leader's a mage, and they have a mage as well as a hero class. So that was the mage that we were fighting there with a knife. That's really unlucky. Mage that our tank went down to that. Okay, we got some words soon. That's max, not too bad. Okay, so we're gonna engage here. Oh, crap. That was an accident. I did dodge, which I have none of, instead of parry. That was really silly. Really, really silly. If he turns around and hits the priest, he's guaranteed a connection. That sucks. Oh, somehow, probably our melee resist. We managed to dodge that. Oh, also he gets disadvantage.
A new round has started.
Two-hander. Alright, we need to get this guy moving up there. Yeah, and he's gonna go through here. Definitely. Okay. Gonna reload. And what have we got here? We can move a little bit. 60% chance to hit. On the... yeah. And if we go this guy, 31, 60, 31, 60. If I don't move, if I go back to here, I've got a 60. Got a 60 one way or the other. Miss. Bugger it. Yeah, it's 20. Okay, we're reloaded. Not much else we can do. 60%. He is engaged in battle, that's why we're getting that. 61 on the other guy. He's more damaged. Not much. 21% chance, 63% chance. We're going to go for this guy. Try and get him down. Remember, he's a mage, so he's a hero character, so the morale drop they'll receive from me dropping him is much higher than the chaff. Yeah, we're just going to go dodge. I don't think anything's going to get up to us, but it's still worth just using my dodge points. Right, so we're getting a 73% chance to hit on somebody. Who is it? Can't see. Oh, the leader. That's nice. That was a good... yeah, and we're going to use agility again. Okay, let's hope we get it. Oh, that was a parry, so that's what happens when you parry. So he gets a return or a post. We're going to go for the dodge. Okay, so we can either go for this guy. That's who we got. Finally got a hit in. Great. This guy's been doing dodges all day left and right. So far, what we've only lost one of our chaff characters. Which, oh, sorry, no, I tell lies. We've actually lost one noble and one chaff character. So they're still better than us at the moment. They're still winning this battle. This one's gonna hopefully do. This is good. It's gonna. So he'll drop in that. So it's still not a noble tank, I don't think, but still. I mean, ideally, I don't want any of them to drop. He just got very lucky. And that's, I mean, crits. Wow, I mean, crits can do, they can just turn the tide of the battle so badly. The magey character, and he's running in with a dual axe, which you quite often see with the character the PC will do. I tend, when I plan to use the axe, pardon me. Tend to use the actual staff because it does reduce the risk of getting a faulty cast. I've literally seen Chaos leaders do a faulty cast and die on the spot. And then your leaders died, so you're just taking this massive hit to morale and you've done no damage and you've done nothing. It can be like really, really devastating. Yep. That's one down. Cool. I'm still engaged, so I'm gonna go here. Yeah, so we got 2 hits. Now, we don't want to do that. We want to do parry. Right? Because we are not a dodge tank. Warband. Sorry. So they just went. So that's pretty good. We won, which is great. If you lose and one of you guys has gone down, they still can get back to you, but they've usually lost everything. And there's big problems. So
you are the instrument of Sigmar's justice, bringing his righteous wrath upon those who would sow their evil in the lands of men. Such work is the most sacred honor the faithful can embrace. Okie
dokie. So, not too bad. We're just sitting on an hour now, so I'll try to make the next part fairly quick if I can. So we got 2 experience for surviving the mission. Cool.
Remarkable.
Most valuable player, an extra 1, 2 for enemies put out of action. Cool. Okay, so near death experience. Recovery time 5 days. Almost a death stall. The warrior astonishingly manages to survive and pull through. It gains an experience point from this amazing feat of survival. Okay, so that was really lucky. So we're really lucky in the first one. The second one, I know it's seeming like it's lucky, but the amount of times I've had someone at like level 7 and they've had a leg cut off or, whatever, or an eye taken out and so their archery skills are useless and they're an archer. It happens all the time. You're going to see it in this series. We were very lucky. Very, very lucky. I don't think he loses his shield or anything. We'll see. Very, very lucky. Okay, cool. Near-death experience and he survived the mission.
Remarkable.
Yeah, cool. Excellent. And another near-death experience. Very, very lucky. Very lucky.
The gods are with you.
All right. Now we are only sort of level mission 3, as I said. I was recording one before, I missed it, so I think we lost our shield in that. These 2 are going to be out, 2 of those guys are going to be out for 5 days though, so that is the cost of that. All right, we've got 37 gold. That should pay for most of our troop. Crimson Shade, that's things we picked up. Got a fair amount of wardstone, which is good. We got another dagger, got a couple of bits and pieces. So, what I'll try to do is go through this as quick as I can. I don't, because we're on an hour and 4 minutes now, and I know these get a bit long, but I just want to make sure I'm getting like the training. It is a guide after all. So Warcamp, we went through these ones. We went to Smugglers Den at the start there. The shop is pretty self-explanatory, so we went through all of this realistically, and this is all fairly self-explanatory. This is what we picked. This is what we've got in our kitty now, and our gold, obviously. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the warband. So first thing you need to do is you need to pay them, right? You got to pay them. So you got to pay them. If you don't pay them, you're in trouble. That was the treatment pay, and now we're actually paying all for upkeep. So you got to pay for the warriors that got injured to be treated, and then you got to pay their upkeep. Got to do this. First thing you got to do. So it took us back down. So each mission we go on is costing about 40 plus gold. So you got to be aware of that. So this doesn't go very far. Then you can see the little. If I go back out, you can see that they've got like green dots and little exclamation marks. That means, and then this little thing means that he's been injured and he's out of combat for 5 days, right? So he's going to have to go up here, nothing you can do about it. This one is now, it goes up here as well. So first thing we're going to do, we'll go through and do their experience, but then we'll have to hire new ones. So we'll go into leader first. So to go through these again quickly, because this is probably the most important part of building your warband, right? If you have a look at the strengths and weaknesses, you can see that his top max attribute is actually agility. So agility, and we'll go through them really quickly. Strength increases melee damage by 3%, bypasses 2 of the target's parry chance, increases warrior's rating, right? Cool. So what it does is basically increases your damage when you hit and gives you a greater chance to bypass any parrying. So strength is really good. Toughness, it basically increases your health pool, increases your resistances to range, poison, crit. Yeah, really good. So tanky and damage. Tanky. Now this one here increases melee resistance. So this is their even ability to pass a to hit chance, right? You have to pass the to hit chance. Increases your dodge chance, which is really good. Increases chance to pass climb, leap down and jump down tests, which is also very good for people when you're trying to position. And in that mission, you saw me position my guys up into windows and to get that real line of sight for firing. It won us the match, really. I mean, we dropped 3 guys just from our guns. So with somebody who is going to be a ranged class, he's going to want to be agility, because if he does get caught out, you're going to want to have really high melee resist. He's not going to be wearing heavy armor to absorb blows. He's going to want to have that. He's going to be in light armor, so he's going to want to be able to dodge. He's also going to be able to get into places. So that's definitely why this guy is now set out. And ideally, this particular band is very, very guns orientated. As you can see in the second one, you got leadership, increases morale value. So that's whether or not you pass all alone tests, increases chance to pass physiological tests by 3, all alone, fear and terror. So when we ring an opponent and they have to take a fear test or they run away like they did in the first episode, this is what dictates that. So you can see that his highest attribute is that, followed by alertness, which gives him initiative, so he goes first, gives him range resistance, again, as a ranged character, and perception checks to see what's going on around him. Very, very important if you're hearing things but you can't see it and you think somebody's coming up after you. So we would probably start by doing the alertness, because if he's probably not going to, if he is by himself, he's going to be up high or at the back of our train. So that's not necessarily the first one for him. That one is. However, this does affect the morale of the whole team. Then moving into, that's leadership. Intelligence. This is for casters, obviously. For spells, increases spell damage, magic resistance, stun resistance. Stun resistance, so it is good to have, but it's not necessarily one you put in. Alertness increases your initiative, your range. Yep. Weapon skills. So here we go on. So he's got 15, 16, 15, right? So in this way, you can kind of do him any way you like, right? So weapon skill increases melee resistance. So down the bottom here, we got melee resistance, 13. So they have to pass that 13 before they can hit you. So every point you put into that will increase that. A melee hit chance. So if you're using a melee weapon to hit, and then your parry chance. Now, we're dodge tank, we're not parry. We're not dodge tank, we're not a tank, but we're a dodge class, right? So we're going to be using dodge, we're never going to be using parry. So realistically, we're not going to be fighting up close. So melee hit chance, don't need it. Parry chance, don't need it. Now, melee resistance we do need, but we're getting it out of agility. Increased agility also increased melee. So we don't really need it. Yeah, so this is a ranged character. So we go down to ballistic skill, increase range damage by 3, increase range crit, hit chance by 2. This is a ranged character. Eventually we're going to build him to one of the Hochland rifles, which is the longest sniper rifle in the game. Really, really helpful. If you know the lore, you know what a Hochland rifle is, and you'll know what kind of range they have. If you don't know what that is, go look it up if you're interested in the lore. It's really cool. There's a whole character based around it. And then you can go into accuracy, which increases your critical hit. So when you do hit, and how much, rah-de-rah-de-rah. So we're going to be building a ranged captain here. So we're going to be going down this, and we'll hit into this first. So we increase our chance to hit. Once we've got our chance to hit high enough, then we'll work on, crits and damage. Cool. So we probably won't even use this here. Not until we've put out the other ones. Cool. That's that character. To go through it again, you already know what each one of these do. So this guy here is the opposite. He's not dodge, right? He is a tank. He's a tank, he's a tank, he's a tank. He's a weird tank because he's a casting tank. So, a couple of things. Strength, yes, but a tank doesn't need to do that much damage, so this will be a secondary skill. Toughness, well, yes. Increases his health, right? Increases his resistances to ranged, poison, and critical resistance. This is really important. If I'd had more toughness on my noble, I might have had a chance of resisting those attacks. So this is really important. So that'll be his first one he does. Now, is agility important? Well, you do get the melee resist, but I'm going to get the melee resist when I come down here and do weapons, right? So again, agility is the last thing you're going to do. You don't need dodge chance because you're not going to get it because you're wearing heavy armor anyway, which totally negates it, so no point. He's a tank, so he's not likely to be having to jump up or get around anywhere. So again, agility not needed. Moving on. Now, he is a caster, and this is where we go. So leadership is fairly high and casting is fairly high. Leadership is important because it is going to give you that increase to morale. He is going to be standing out in the front. He's probably going to get surrounded a lot. So having a high leadership is important because he then won't fail all alone tests. You have to be careful while he's new, because you're going to have to balance between these two a bit. Intelligence. So this is already fairly high, so we probably might put a couple of points into leadership to get that a little bit higher. And we can do a couple of things to boost that as well. But intelligence is really good. So if we look at intelligence, increases spell damage by 3. Cool. Increases magic resistance by 1. Okay. Increases stun resistance, which was the crit stun that you saw, by 2%. So really, really good. Increases chance to pass mental condition tests by 3%. Stupidity, paranoia, and deranged. Right? So that's one we're definitely going to be putting points into. We're going to go into both of these. Probably do a little bit into this and a little bit into this. Now into the third set for this guy. Remember when I said to you, we need that melee resist. So if we're looking down here, dodges nothing. We're going on parry. If we come down here, melee resist is important because they have to pass it just to even get a shot at hitting you. So the weapon skill here increases melee resistance by 1, increases your chance to hit by 2, and increases your parry. So that's giving us everything we need there. We don't need this, and we don't need this, realistically, yeah? Eventually we will go into this, but really this is the stat that's important right now, right there. And then here we're going to go into that one. We're going to increase, so our melee resistance went up, our stun resistance went up, which is really important for a tank, and our magic went up, which is really cool. So that's cool. So that's a mage sort of tank. So that's our secondary guy. So here's our tank right now. He's injured right now, so we can't use him, but we can upgrade him. So again, same thing. Look, his highest stat in this is actually the weapon skill. So melee resist, melee hit chance, and parry. Pop that up. It chops his parry up to 36 and his melee resist to 12. So that's really good. Again, the other things are important, but not as important at this stage. Confirm. We're going to go back 1 second, and I'm going to see if we're just going to go quickly in here. Do I have a helmet? Did I pick one up? Chance to pass all alone in fear test. So that's probably worth it. Do we have a helmet? We don't. Let's have a look at the store. The store doesn't have one either. It's the amulet. Increases magic resistance and pass all alone test. Okay, so inventory. We're going to pop that on him there. Right, so now if he gets surrounded, it just gives him a little buff to that. Cool. He did lose his sword, which is cool. Now, we could give him the sword, which allows parry. If we give him the sword, it hasn't changed our parry, right? Because our parry is already what it is. If we put the shield on him, that's what it does. 46, because we added 10 for the shield. If we go to here and we take this off and we give him the axe, doesn't change anything. Does change his initiative though. Yeah, so whether or not he gets to, because he's gone from a dagger, obviously. We give him a spear, goes back up, his initiative goes up. So he gets to hit first, basically. Personally, myself, I like the critical chance of the sword. It can sometimes be really good to get that crit hit. You don't often get it because we're not getting a lot of crit on this particular character, but sometimes every now and you'll get it. The dagger is cool too because it's got a much higher, it's got a good plus 15% to ambush. attacks bypass parry, and they bypass dodge. So that's really good. It means your tank's almost always going to hit. It's got a higher, as I said, that higher crit chance. So you got a little bit, like he's always going to hit. He's just not going to hit for very much. The axe is good because it bypasses a lot of the armor. So if you're going to get like if you get surrounded by a couple of guys with decent armor, this is good for just laying out. As much for muches. I find the sword is usually just the best option in this case, but I have run axes. Depends on what you want to do, realistically. There's more damage output on the axe. It's sort of a bit more solid. The sword is probably more if you didn't already be running the shield. So I'm going to run the axe. It does drop our initiative a little bit, but let's do that. Cool. You can't use him now anyway. So this guy, fairly simple. Again, up here, the agility, he's going to be dodging all day long, so we're going to run the agility. Coming down here, we're going to be looking at alertness, because we're going to want that initiative. Range resistance, chance to pass perception tests, that's what we're going to go to. Down here, now, if you see, he's actually really high in accuracy, so this guy is all about, this might be a really good guy to give the blunderbuss to, and put him in sort of he's in cloth armor, so what we might do is put him in, we wouldn't put him in heavy armor, but you could put him in like the light armor to give him just a little bit more durability without affecting his dodge too much, and then put a blunderbuss on him, right? So you could do, you could go blunderbuss, which does 22 to 32 damage, right? It fires a cone that affects all enemies and does not require target. So you don't have to target, it's just a cone, just like 22 to 32 damage. So it's pretty good. If we go back to these, so that's 24 to 32. It's about the same, but you actually have to aim for this, right? And that thing can affect multiple enemies. This will only affect one. So it can be quite effective, especially if you've got like 2 or 3 enemies in front of you and he's sitting in the front, and just boom, you can really put the hurt on. The problem there lies is he's then going to get charged more often than not. So I'm not as big a fan of the blunderbuss. I think it can be used to great effect, but it's situational. Anyway, that's my thoughts. Weapon skill, again, he's probably not really going to be doing that. It is high, so you could run him as sort of a dual. You could run him a high agility, dual wielding class that sort of dodges things and just puts out a lot of damage if you wanted to. With that crit, you could actually run a two-hander on this guy with high agility and two-handed weapon, and just like the guy with the big sword, you could do that very easily. I tend to run them. I still do up their ballistics till hits 12, and then I run huge accuracy, and I just try to get big crits out of the guns. That's what I try to do with them. So we're going to run that to try and get our crit. So ballistic skill increase to hit, we've already been through that. Going to do the same, agility. Now this guy's sort of medium. He's, you can build him any way you want because everything's sort of 12, 12, 13, 12, 12, 13. I mean, alertness, agility, he's kind of made it a little bit more agility based, and then you got some ballistics here for range damage. You could make him into more of an arrow shooter. I tend to just use him as chaff, and I build him up with a little bit of strength and agility. It's up to you how you build this guy. This guy's fairly straightforward. I mean, you've got toughness and you've got agility, so he's definitely going to be that agility tank. He's going to be at the front, really dodging. He's not going to wear the heavy armor because he can't. He can only wear cloth, I think. He can wear light armor. I think it's useless. So toughness is good, but I'd be building agility first to build that dodge up and keep dodging. You'd be building the leadership so that they're in the frontline warriors so that they don't get fear tested. And then you'll be rocking probably accuracy, to be fair, because they're rolling with a two-handed weapon, and you can roll them with dual ones or whatever, but you can't put a shield on him. So I usually leave them as they are, stock standard, and then I pull up the crit. So I make them just really, really, really dodgy. So anything that gets in touch with them has to pass really high dodge tests. So I put them up against any warrior with a two-handed weapon. And then they're dodging all day, and then when they do hit, they've got usually a bit of weapon skill and a bit of accuracy, so they've got a higher chance to actually hit, and then when they do hit, they crit like crazy. So that's generally how I build these guys. We're going to go agility, confirm agility. once we got agility to about 10, I'll put a couple of points into toughness as well, just in case on those odd ones where they do get through and actually connect the hit, you've got a bit of toughness there to deal with it. Cool, and that's the band, guys. And so that's probably a little bit more in depth than the first video for how it all works and how to, what's the differences. In the next video, I'll actually go into the next stage, which is actually skills and each character. So it's not just equipping, it's not just leveling, it's not just stats as well. It's actually on top of that, there are skills like these that give you extras, and I'll go through that in the next one because it's a bit of explanation. We're already sitting about an hour and 20 minutes, so I don't want to do this any longer than it is. Alright guys, that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you learned a lot from it. It's a great game. I really thoroughly recommend it if you're into strategy or you're into Warhammer or you just love XCOM or any of those kind of strategy games. Great game. You can really get sucked into it. As always, if you like this video, please do leave a like. I know everyone says that. I'm calling out if you're watching and you have enjoyed it, please just click the little thumbs up, man. Really helps me out. If you are enjoying it and you want to see these as they come through, then please do hit the subscribe button. We're at about 28 subscribers. I'm a tiny little channel, just putting it out because I love it, guys. Hit me up for a subscription, it really helps me out as well. Cool bananas. You can hit the little bell as well and all that jazz. You can catch me on Twitter and also Instagram as well. I have accounts Dog Shadow Gaming on Instagram and Dog Shadow Game 1 on Twitter. We have a Patreon page, but I'm not even going to go into that. It's Dog Shadow Gaming, whatever. Looking to probably do my first stream. I wasn't going to stream, I was just going to do YouTube, but I'm decided I'm going to at least give it a shot. I'm trying to build a stream page now for Twitch, but I'll be looking to stream this weekend on Saturday and possibly Sunday, depending on how it goes. I'll probably be playing Mordheim. I just thought that'd be cool. We might even have a go at Chaos, or we might do Skaven or whatever, it just depends. But yeah, that'll be Saturday and Sunday. Look, it'll probably be around lunchtime, I don't know, Eastern Standard Time or whatever it is. It'll be lunchtime. Anyway, catch me. I'll be on Saturday and Sunday. Have a look me on. It's Dog Shadow Gaming. It's got my icon, all that sort of stuff if you want to watch me. But yeah, just go into Mordheim and see if I'm there. Say hello, ask questions if there's anything with the video. Alright guys, that's it for me. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, have a great evening, morning, whatever you're doing. See you later. Bye.